The certification process is different, but the engine aging before you can certify it has changed because of the cheating that went on. And it's really the after-treatment systems and the certification costs that really make diesels difficult. So the after-treatment system is $3,000 beyond what the powertrain cost is per car. The requirements for the after-treatment system has increased because of emissions. The greenhouse gas requirements have become more stringent. The difference is now the certification process, it takes 3 years. So if I wanted to launch a diesel today, I've got to age that engine for 3 years.
We have had a marathon session today. What the audience doesn't know is we shot a full Inside the MotoMan studio episode on your career. We talked about...
which lasted, 5 minutes?
Okay, I'd just like to point out that your PR folks said that you wouldn't be able to talk for an hour, and you ended up talking for an hour and a half.
Sorry.
You have a great career. It's pretty... I didn't actually know the details until we actually sat down. So I'm kind of honored to kind of understand the whole line from way back in the day of early General Motors to Chrysler to early Toyota, where there was nothing even here. Anyway, I'm giving away too much of that episode. That'll come out in our other show, Inside the MotoMan Studio. But today, your fans, who are very rabid, they are big, big fans of your honesty. And I think that's what really comes through on the camera. They have come up with a list of questions for you when it comes to the Tundra. We already did this with a Sequoia, depending on when they've seen this. So we got to do this now with the Tundra, because there's some different questions, even though the vehicles are related. We're going to start with one that is the same between the two. Diesel, V8?
A V8 diesel would be great.
Yes.
It truly would be.
It didn't
lovely.
mean it that way, but yes. How about a diesel V8?
No.
Wow, that's a very definitive answer.
So we have a great new diesel engine, and I would love to offer it. Unfortunately, with emission certification requirements now, my friends in other companies have spoiled that diesel certification process for us. So it's too costly. It takes too long.
Is that just a U.S. thing, or is it a U.S.-Europe thing? What is it?
Well, Europe has Euro 6 requirements for emissions, and diesel gas there's a difference between the certifications. In the U.S., the certification process is different, but the engine aging before you can certify it has changed because of the cheating that went on, and it's really the after-treatment systems and the certification costs that really make diesels difficult. So the after-treatment system is $3,000 beyond what the powertrain cost is.
Per car?
Per car.
That's obscene.
So when you look at it, everything we do is about cost of ownership. And vehicles aren't cheap, but how do you make the owner's experience the cost of ownership least amount for the customers, when they buy it? And what I mean by cost of ownership is how much is maintenance, how much is gas that you're putting in, or fuel you're putting into it. What's the residual value of that vehicle when you get done?
Is that $3,000 only now in these mature markets like Europe and the U.S.?
It's come with the after treatment systems. What's new about that is that the $3,000 hasn't changed in probably 10 years because you had to have the after treatment. The requirements for the after treatment system has increased because of the emissions. The greenhouse gas requirements have become more stringent. The difference is now the certification process, it takes 3 years. So if I wanted to launch a diesel today, I've got to age that engine for 3 years before I can.
And just as a basis of comparison, what would the same be for a gasoline or hybrid?
It's less than a year process.
Oh, so this is a trip. That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
So just kind of an understanding, is this certification, does this fall under your remit, or is that a different team that does that?
Our powertrain group takes care of it.
But that falls under you?
It's under the vehicle side. It's
Okay.
a vehicle responsibility.
Got it. Related question, which we covered in the Sequoia, plug-in?
We have lots of plug-ins, so I think we have USBs.
We're talking about Tundras, yes, but that's what we're really focusing on is Tundras today.
I can't talk about future powertrains, but we're looking, as we look towards the future, we're looking at what best suits every market. Every customer in the different regions, I guess is a better answer.
So I would say it's a better chance than a diesel V8. That's where I'm going with this. Then I'm going to go to something you and I kind of talked about before, but now the vehicle's out. I'm seeing them on the street, and now it's kind of time for some innovation. Specifically, when are we going to see some bed innovation?
Innovation.
You know, you look at
like
a Ford.
accessories.
Not accessories. You know, you look at like the Chrysler's got the Ram box, or the door on the F-150 does this, and the door on the GMC does that. Yours is just it's what is it? It's a composite.
Yeah,
That's your big trick.
We put composites, so we're a very practical, conservative company, and for me, a truck has to do what it needs to do to service a customer very well. So if we talk about tailgates and the tailgate wars going on, they're interesting. To me, it's some of it's a question no one ever asked. You know, do I want a tailgate to swing sideways? Do I want the step? Speakers and tailgate, pretty cool. Not going to deny that. But what do you use your tailgate for? And our customers are more active than my competitors' customers. We've got data that shows that they hunt, they fish, they camp, they dirt bike, and so on and so forth, snowmobile. And we've addressed concerns that those customers have. And the main concern was loading. It went from loading motorcycles or snowmobiles to loading UTVs now on the back of their trucks. And we had some damage being occurred doing that from dynamic loading of wheels sitting on the back of that. The new tailgate addressed that, the new design. Does it do flips and circles and serve coffee and stuff? No.
If I'm reading the tea leaves correctly, that's a very long-winded way of saying no.
It is a very long-winded way of saying no.
I appreciate the honesty. Let's press on to the next. Actually, this is the final question, and this is kind of a big one. This doesn't necessarily have to do with the Tundra, but remember how surprised I was when I found out how expensive the capstone Tundra was. People were kind of all over the place. Some people liked it. Some people didn't like the idea of a $75,000 pickup truck that's got a Toyota badge on it. But do you see the capstone kind of fanciness making its way to a future Tacoma?
I can't talk about future products again.
I knew that'd be the answer.
Which
is an answer unto itself.
Tacoma will be focused on a Tacoma demographic, a Tacoma customer.
But there seems to be a lot of price elasticity in that group. Like, for example, my barber, great guy. He's got 4 dogs. He's a surfer. And he's the man. But he went from an FJ, because I yelled at him, no longer to daily drive his FJ, to buying a new TRD Pro in the cool blue, and he got like the soft top cover for the back. Thing was like 60 grand. And he didn't bat an eyelash buying that thing. Either I'm paying too much for my haircut, or that's what people are anticipating for a Tacoma.
It was a Tacoma.
Tacoma.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the price I would recognize, but...
well, California, man, they got to get over sticker for these things.
Yeah, so that's a market demand.
But doesn't that give you a little price elasticity to do some fanciness with a Tacoma?
It does, but does that customer want a capstone, or does he want a TRD?
Good question. I guess I'll have to bring my barber next time.
You'll have to bring your barber. We're always willing to listen to actual
Okay.
customers, customers' wants, needs. A lot of what we do is based on what our customers are asking for.
Okay, so that's a great segue. We're going to turn this again around to the audience, and we're going to ask them for some more questions the next time you and I get together, which will be with cigars. We will look at their questions in the comments below or via our social media, MotoManTV, all word, MotoManTV, all word, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And with that, I do want to leave them with one more thing here. I don't know if they've seen the other episodes, but can you share with the audience who your neighbors are next door here? You have 2 interesting neighbors.
The psychiatric prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's our part of our engineering staff.
It explains so much about you now. Now that I understand this.
You know, they're ready to take me back after we're done with this.
Yeah, your time out of the home has
Yeah.
expired. On that note, until we see you in the next episode, Bish Paper.